All right, Grand Rising, everyone. Welcome back. It's Shalonda. And I think I just want to say something real quick. Um, there's just a lot of talk, so everything is going to be alleged, right? Oh, well, I guess I should go ahead and say, okay, my normal thing that this is Shalonda from American Empress Unchained on YouTube and American Aborigines Unchained on Facebook. And yeah, I'm never here to tell you what it is or what it ain't. I'm simply sharing what it looks like to me. I apologize for the light behind me, but okay, maybe if I just, okay, maybe we can do that. I got a lot of stuff down here on the floor that I'm working on. So, but I just want to take a second out and I just want to just use like common sense and just think about something and just, I wonder what other people think about this. So, again, we know we can't believe everything that we see on social media or mainstream media. Um, we can't believe any and everything that comes out of those who preside mouths. And the devil is always in the details when it comes to these documents. Okay. So, um, so I was just thinking about the whole thing of why we're bringing up this conversation in the first place about um, giving money. We won't even speak on the amount because it depends on what we're talking about as the amount and the way that, I don't know, I feel like they should distribute the funds, right? Okay. All right. So these are the terms that I'm hearing today. Now I'm hearing the term illegal. Okay, so we broke down what it was talking about when it's talking about immigrants and persons and things, right? So now I'm hearing today that they're saying that this money, this large amount of money, is supposed to go to illegal immigrants when it comes to the border crisis. But I think they're now saying that cross the border. But again, I don't know because in my eyes, spiritually, I see borders that have already been lines that have been drawn in the sand when it comes to the plane as the Americas and Canada, all the way, from the rooter to the tutor. So what I feel like is there are imaginary lines already being drawn out and cut out and carved out in the land. We have been on this indigenous journey for a while. I would say it's been really popular for the past 8 years or so, 6 to 8 years. Um, and but we have to know that the entities that we're dealing with are usually 10 steps ahead or years ahead. Okay. So again, we are in Genesis, but we're in Revelations, but we're in throughout the book. I mean, it just is the way it is. And so right now we have to realize that, when it came to so-called Mexicans, and I use so-called a lot because again, these are terms and things that have been given in order to divide, but it is also, good to have some of these things where we're trying to find our way back home, right? We're anyway, the true road to that is within. And some people use, they rely a lot on documents, and each way is okay. There's no right or wrong, but we can't dismiss one, right? If we're really spiritual people and we deal with the soul, then that has to be held accountable as well, right? So I'm just saying, okay. So again, what I see when we're talking about the biblical text and then what's going on now is that if we are talking, let's just say how they're trying to have us perceive it, because perception is everything. All right. So if they're talking about giving 450, if they're talking about giving funds, period, to illegal aliens, period, unless those are our people that they took out of here and are bringing back, that's a no-go, right? So if we're talking about that, that would be ridiculous, preposterous, right? Okay. Now, if they're talking about giving some kind of immigrants, which again, what is the right way at this point in time for somebody to come into the border? Because we know when it came to so-called Mexicans, again, people were upset about that. And Biden said something about Mexicans are going to be who we're going to have to look to or towards. It depends on what we're talking about when we're talking about Mexico or Moshe. Cool. Mm. There's a lot of Aboriginals that may be most shaken. Even some from Chicago. All right. But when it came to that, it was ICE. Take them back. Bop, bop, bop. But now we have people coming in, and since they seemingly look a little bit more of your skin tone, there's some people that are in powers that shouldn't be, that are in positions of power that have been there very, very long. We talked about the caucus. We talked about these people that get up in front of our faces for the last 50 years. Their time is up. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. And they're trying to play with your emotions, okay? When it comes to these individuals, because regardless if you're American, an Aboriginal, or indigenous, Native American, so-called white, whatever, it should be offensive to all of us if someone is talking about giving someone that is an illegal immigrant or immigrant that is from another country something that there's some form of reparations. You see, so with the certain communities, LGB, it's protected, sealed, and done. When it comes to Asian Americans, it's all sealed and done. But when it comes to, again, the origines of the Americas, it's always the back seat. So we know that this is ludicrous. This is crazy talk, okay? So, but we know that if the corporation of the United States cared about America, that's who would be getting the money, right? But again, things have altered, things have changed. The people that they left behind the enemy lines, I think this is talking about when it comes to the North, Midwest, northern portions of the Americas right now, spiritually, that's what we're talking about, even though we have the perception of something going on in Afghanistan. We've broke down the etymology on Afghan, and that energy can be really talking about particular people here in the Americas. Now, that would be a smack in the face. That would cause civil unrest. It's just unfortunate that the lost tribes, or those who they tried to cut off from being a nation, or those whatnot, right? Now remember, this is not God's doing. This is the Lord God's doing. So again, if we start off in Genesis 1 with God, then what happened when God took a rest? Or did they force God to take a rest because they shut God up and allowed the Lord God to do some things, to change the anatomy of things, to add something to it, and to also make sure that God stayed behind the scenes so they can feed off of God, but exalt the Lord God over God. So if we're talking about this money, we all know it don't take a rocket scientist or any political anything to let us know that the smartest thing to do would be put that money back into the backbone of the Americas. When it comes to Mexicans, which again are people of the Americas, their race originated here in the Americas. But we had ICE, and we supposedly put their children in cages and put these people in cages. But again, now since they're trying to confuse you with the earth joining with the earth, and you don't know that that's the earth that's going to become the overseers over you. Like the video that we did a couple months back, maybe even a year or so, when we showed the color of some of these masters and some of these landlords and some of these overseers that look just like you, that were whipping you. Literally. Now, again, when I look at this, people get offended when I say this, but it's all about perception. Once you perceive something to be what they showed you in the graph, just like the slave ships that were just a draft or a write up of what it would look like, but we don't have any around here displayed or on display anywhere in the world actually to go visit. That could also be symbolic, allegorical to the fact of someone whipping your behind. Because those are the people. It's not to be offensive what I say here. It's to follow, you know what I'm saying? So again, now we're the 3 generations or the 3 generations later. 2018 has already come. The 400 years is over. And now, again, the oppressive portion of so-called black people in America, when all brown skinned folks ain't your kin folks, are usually brought in. We know that they were having programs bringing people, sons of Africa, what is known as Africa today, over and giving them, scholarships and different grants and things like that so that they can go to college and, become doctors and all these things like this, right? They totally skipped over the hood, but again, they think that that's good. So I'm saying on this large of a scale, bringing this many people in, if it's not them bringing our people back that we haven't seen since Katrina and other incidents and floods, bring my sons and daughters that were scattered or deployed, but we know that the images that they're showing on the media are just a perception. So if the 400, okay, let's say this, if the 450,000 was going to anyone, wouldn't it be Americans that have been displaced for 400 and something years so that they can have their so-called Black Wall Street again? Or Wall Street in general. Because now we do know that there's a mixture of things here. There's a mixture of things here. People want to try to still cause a skin color or something, but it's a mixture of things going on here. Heirs are going to come looking any kind of way. I look like this. My grandbaby, I think y'all seen her on here one time, is so bright. So should they be cut off? Should they be killed once people get land back with patents? Like some of your peers once have said. So again, if they give that to these particular people, then they will be able to buy out everything, and you will be forced to take the $7 an hour jobs, or I think they're going to be raising it to 15 in some states. I think like Wisconsin and some other places. I don't know if that's a, national thing or not. And they'll be buying up the buildings and the factories. And do you see what I'm saying? So I don't see how that makes any sense. If we want to heal America, then we have to start with America. And that means that we have to do it from within, that the people have to come first, not the newcomers. Plus, we don't know exactly where these people are coming from and who they really are, because I don't think we're getting an honest viewpoint as to where these people are coming from and how they're nobody is at any of the borders, even when it comes to wherever these places are they saying they're coming from. No one is at those places protecting, now that so many people are supposedly coming in. I have nothing against anyone coming in the right way. What I do have against the administration, if that's what they call themselves doing, is setting them up for you American origines, because of our ignorance and us not knowing how to pull together, like some of these people that are coming from other places know how to, and you know that. You know that. When it comes to the Mexican brothers and sisters, you see how they did it. Us so-called black folk, American Indians, whatever you want to call yourself, have a problem with that. They support each other when they see each other come up. We try to shoot each other down, still to this day. And then we want to point the finger and blame everybody else. And it's because of silly things sometimes. Jealousy. I mean, the biblical text is what it is. I mean, that's just what it is, right? So I'm just saying, if that was going to be the case, we know that putting that money back into American families, whether they are first families, and you guys, I don't know, when I'm saying first families of immigrants or whatever, like the Irish and stuff, we know we see these things in our genealogy and stuff like that. That doesn't mean they're bad people today. It just means that we have to just be able to know that somewhere something needs to be done for the American origines that were already here. We can't keep setting things up every time, every 100, 400 years, whatever, for everyone else to come in and climb on top of their backs. So the right thing to do would be to put that money back into the hands, okay, of the real American people. And then if we want to become bosses and run things, we use that money to capitalize in a certain sense where we just, have programs set up to teach people how to be entrepreneurs, have things where people work together within communities to rebuild. It starts with the poor. And unfortunately here, so-called poor or impoverished neighborhoods, they have people of all different colors, Mexican, so-called, white, black, except for Asian. Most of the time you don't really see. Okay. I mean, that's not meant to be nothing offensive or anything. I'm just saying. We just know that that's how it usually is. In Indian, Hindu Indian. But I think that they might use the nationality as white, I think, if I'm not mistaken, on the applications for, the Social Security and things like that. So again, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that it would be the wrong thing to do. They don't know the culture of, they don't know exactly how we operate here. They don't know the language. They're going to be speaking a different language. It just seems like, what are you talking about? And why would we do that? It wouldn't make any sense to anybody. It doesn't matter who you are. What type of education, it doesn't make any sense. Right now that we put that money back in the hands of Americans, that we would be able to flourish. So it obviously seems like somebody doesn't want Americans in general, no matter what race, creed, or it seems like somebody doesn't want you to win. And somebody else getting a hold of the land and buying up everything, right? Or even taking everything in under patents. If they don't mean you well or eventually want to get rid of you, then that means that your numbers are going to dwindle down and these people are going to be put in positions of power. And again, I'm just saying, it goes deep. Because when people come here from different places, they usually keep their culture tight. They usually set up grocery stores that, that service the things that they want and they need from their homes, towns, or their homelands and things like that. And they support each other. And it's just going to get harder and harder for the so-called American Aborigines or Origine people to do so. I mean, it's just a fact. So yeah, that would be totally outlandish. Unless we're admitting that something was done wrong here when it comes to this Afghan issue and other issues that might be going on. Something was done wrong. And, it's time to compensate those particular people that might still be, having so-called misnomers as their nationality or something of that nature. Okay? Because if we're fighting for the soul of America, then we're doing a very horrible job. Right? And if we want to make America better again, you're going to let a whole bunch of people come in here and then give them money? How is that? That doesn't even make any sense. Now, if we're talking about healing America, then we're talking about lining first the minds of the people with the resources that they need mentally, physically, and then financially. It's like some sort of like counseling or something needs to go on, almost, right? But I don't know. I just thought I'd come and say something about that because it was kind of bothering me a little bit. Because I mean, I'm just thinking like, is anybody? I haven't heard anybody saying how this just don't make no sense. Excuse me. Okay. So I'm just pulling a couple of. This is just like my magical deck. Whenever I want to really, of oracle cards. Whenever I want to really go there. When it comes to just like things that are like far-fetched, you know what I'm saying? Like we're trying to use our gifts. We're trying to use that magic. I mean, and don't take it in that way that I'm saying. I'm just saying something that's already just in us in order to change things and change the narrative and to be, oh my goodness, really? And to be heard. Apologies. Okay. All right. So again, for a little bit of inspiration here, okay? All right, so we have this card here at the bottom. Lavender, surround yourself with love and what the world needs now. It really is. I mean, I think we've just gone too far. I think we have with the warring. And again, the dragons, slay them all. Now, I like dragons, but I'm just saying. You see, she has her sword. She got her fist balled up. She mad as hell. She even limping on one leg, or you know what I'm saying? She's only being able to utilize, well, she's utilizing both of them, but I'm just saying she's wounded, a wounded warrior that's come to collect, in a sense, okay? And then gray, ending the inevitable, right? You see that boat up there on them clouds? And she just sitting on the dock of the bay. Sitting on the dock of the bay. And then, unfortunately, some things are not going to be able to be the same. I think even when it comes to family trees, because of greed and backstabbing and things like that. So it says, let them go. And she really, she's heard about it, but, she sees that, again, when it comes to lineage, when it comes to like any kind of conservatorship energy, overbearing energy, deceitful energy, people keeping people in the dark. It's just like, spaceship, don't be afraid to sing. Okay, so we're singing well, that was the first time I actually kind of sung on here. Wow. But I mean, like, what I'm saying sing is like, tell your story. Because I think for so long people have made us, be afraid to speak the truth, especially when it comes to so-called women, females, mothers, concerned mothers, and parents. This one is mourning, the world awaits you. And again, I had to sit back and think. Lately, it's been some drastic things going on mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially for me this year. And I feel like giving gratitude to source, right? It's like a smile is worth like a lot. So like waking up in the morning, this is the morning card, and just thinking to myself that the world awaits me. You know what I'm saying? No matter how I move, things are moving. Yeah. It feels like full steam ahead. And then this, it's funny that it's 45, huh? It made me think about President 45. Who is 45? Is it? I don't know. But who should it be or have been? Mm, the throne. Your potential is endless. And I love these cards because look, she plus size too. Look at her with her black dress on, holding them flames up. It's just magical. Well, I think we are in a, you know, not witchcraft kind of magic, but I think we are just in a very, it just depends. It depends on how, which way we go. If we can collect ourselves and start looking at the bigger, broader picture moving forward. If this is the case, and if someone is really talking about giving some funds to illegal aliens, then uh, that should be offensive to many Americans in general. It really should, because again, that's the whole thing about loving thy neighbors. Because again, I think cultural pride can get in the way a lot of times of things for people in nations. Not in all nations, it seems like just America. Because everybody knows that if they keep the people divided and fighting amongst each other, that outsiders can take advantage of those opportunities. So that satanic energy, again, is the energy that wanted to, and whoever was, you know what I'm saying, knowingly going against, was the energy that was trying to get rid of. And we could just say that Eve, like what we were just talking about in the Kabbalah, that Eve energy, like, you know what I'm saying, in general. Let's just forget about the image or the time, just like the Eve energy in general. Okay. Oh, this is the second time it came out, so I'm gonna go ahead and take it. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, y'all. Okay. All right. We'll stop at aloha healing, because I don't know. Um, there is a powerful, or a positive. I don't know. I admire her ideas. I can't remember her name, but I think she's from a senator or somebody from Hawaii. That I feel is someone who is fighting for, you know, people in general, but women's rights when it comes to like mothers or whatever. All right. And again, all right. So we have, and I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go, but this is just like a little bit of inspiration here. So we have the Nautilus Princess, powerful personal growth. Okay. And again, these are some cards that I bought for I bought for my daughter, but I don't know. They ended up being like one of my favorites. Okay, for like inspiring or triggering thought, for inspirational and healing. Okay, the Pink Lotus Fairy, a time for spirit, and that's what time it is. That lotus has been cut. Matter of fact, that lotus came up in those other cards earlier. Centering yourselves, going within. I don't know. That's just what helped me. So, carnivorous flower fairy. A tempting offer has a high price. Yeah. Ooh. I don't know. That's really tempting. Okay. So it says eclipse mermaid, a powerful energy shift. All right. 10 could be, you know, significant. I don't know why. Again, let's see. The summer mermaid. Your sensuality is beautiful. Again, and I'm just so happy to see women in general just feeling beautiful, filling themselves up, cleansing themselves, and also, you know what I'm saying, portraying that back out on each other, and not even having to be family members, or do you see what I'm saying, or close to each other, just dedicating their time and keeping it positive and keeping it like constructive with criticism, and, you know, I don't know. I just think this is a beautiful time. I haven't been able to witness this kind of sisterhood, and I think when I first started this, it was something about like sisterhood being dead, and I was thinking that just like that's the most awful thing that happened to us within our communities. But it's all that extra fluff and stuff that usually drives that kind of energy. But it's really that within that we're not happy with, right? But we're taking our power back in a sense. And I don't know, it's just the most beautiful thing in the world to me. Okay, so it says a clockwork pumpkin, a wonderful idea, the aha moment. And I think a lot of us are having those at this point in time. And again, a lot of us know not what we do. We're all learning, healing, and growing together. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing about helping each other. Because just because you think somebody is competition doesn't mean that you need to try to beat them down. You could ignore them. You could not have nothing to do with them. But to actually work together with large people, groups of people and people in power to take somebody down, it's just ugly. So he says here, death and the maiden, invasion, boundaries violated, and dominance. Again, I feel like this is the energy. This is the energy. This is that hovering, dominating energy here. And it's just unfortunate that a lot of it for me has been feminine energy. A lot of it for me has been feminine energy coming from for me, but also masculines joining in. And it's just unfortunate. Masculines that, again, suppose it came in as if they were helpers or to assist or to be, you know what I'm saying, helpers or big brothers or father figures or whatever. And sometimes it turns out that because of whatever reasons, it might be jealousy or something with that. I don't know. Could depend on who we talking about. You know, because we have masculine brothers and we have some that are more feminine. So, you know, there's nothing wrong with either or, but if I think feminine masculines can be like, have a jealous spirit sometimes. And then sometimes they can be there to really praise and uplift you. And then again, when it comes to masculines, if they can't control you sometimes, then, you know, they'll want to defeat you or drag you or make you look bad. And then there's some masculines that are ready to just be real men out there. I mean, I can't even say, no matter what anybody has done, it hasn't done anything but make me take whatever it is inside and bake it in the oven, you know what I'm saying, and bring something, you know, fluffy and flavorful out, you know, packed with, you know, emotion and that seasoning, that additive, that something refined, you know. A shallow grave, you miss someone. And that's true. And with all the deception around, I can't tell exactly, that's the sad part. I can't tell exactly there is a masculine that cares. I don't care what he may project to the world or around people that there's somebody that cares. Right? I can sense him. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I ask source, can I see? Show me. See? That's what I be asking. Okay, what we got there? All right. Okay. All right. All right. Told me to stop. All right. So here's the cards. And we're going to get up out of here. Because again, you know, being that empress and like I said earlier, like being that soul, how we were reading in was it the Kapala? I can't remember. No, it was the sealed portion about that God had raised Eve up over Adam because of some indiscrepancies, right? But of course, you know, like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That make it seem like it's like an ice queen or somebody that's cold hearted and like this empress that just like, you know, but it's just like, no, like, I think that when it comes to this whole energy, just in general, that when it comes to a woman that knows who she is and she knows how to take charge when she needs to, you know, it's something to be said that she can also be feminine and masculine. And she can also be very submissive to the proper masculine. And again, and I feel bad when I show love and gratitude. I hate that I have to feel some kind of iffy way because I'm not sure if these are actually my enemies or not. You know what I'm saying? But I still give gratitude because regardless of what, these people, and they have been mainly male energies that have been around me, have helped to form and mold me. They have helped. They're not the reason why, but they have helped with whatever they did, whether they were throwing. And then these feminines also that have been attacking or sent the masculines in to invade or whatever it might be. Still, respect. We should just in general, like, I don't know. Even my worst enemies, I mean, I'm gonna have respect and I'm gonna be like real graceful when I'm coming. If you coming for me. So soulful burdens. Mm. Sacred knowledge. Again, this is something that you see how it's centered. It's coming like it's coming down this path. It's kind of like this kind of thing. I feel like I see it going down the chakras. 6, 7. Yeah, there's 7 kind of like things here. The 3 here, and then the symbol like in the middle. I don't know. It's making me think about the Soul Train line. Okay, that might be doing too much. Okay, so again, preparation. All right. So again, this makes me think about a mothering energy here that is sending even messages through her children, no matter if they are. You see that? And it's going to be forming something here. And then it's so funny because it kind of looks like this. It's the same shape, at least, of this here with the sacred knowledge. So it's almost like, oh, kind of like this is earth energy here with the brown, but then, it's like energy coming from the earth going through her children, because again, remember, the children are the ones that have been ruling for a very long time. And the children just represents the younger races or the younger people of the land. They may be, again, light. When it comes to Israel, there's Israel, and then light, the lighter version. We did a video on it and broke it down really good and nice if you want to go back and watch it. But, yeah. So that's that mixture with whatever the water is. But again, together, we can have respect for what we're trying to do for each other, being American in general. Or else, I mean, to evade or to, stop some type of, where did it go? Invasion. So again, people know exactly what we need to do for global warming and the Earth's core and climate change. And I hope that, it seems like they're saying that's what they're trying to work on, but I don't see any people that look like the people that would be affecting the climate right now. So how is that? And we get what they show us, but what's going on behind closed doors? Because we know when it comes to Nicaea, we know when it comes to certain things and doom or dumb diverses and things like this, that it's the same way. Even some of the things that happen in Philadelphia, you know what I'm saying? Some of that stuff leaves my mind. But again, we have plenty of that information here on the platform. But when they went in and closed the doors for a certain amount of days and things to come up with certain things that were going to be happening. They give us the garbage and we argue and fight about the non-factors in the media, mass media, social media, while they, again. So we need internal strength. All right. That's talking about when it comes to the Americas in general. And that which is within, the man and woman in the mirror. And if you don't like what you see and you try to convince yourself that you do, then whatever you do, you see how she's kind of pushing this stuff into her. Oh, you probably can't see it because the camera just froze. Her ears. There's like little dots around her ears. And she's putting something in her mouth or either taking it out. It's going to be harmful. Right? So, anyways, I'll see you guys later. Um, Let me know what you think. But I'm just saying, like I said, it doesn't make a doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that if anybody should be getting any kind of money in these times after the hardships that we have been going through and people losing their jobs here in the Americas, that we should be taking that money and putting it in anyone's pockets but American people, American families. And along with that, there should be it shouldn't be one big lump sum, I don't think. It should be gradually given along with some type of training or some kind of something to get people in positions to get America up and running again. To get, you know what? I would just love to see something that say "Made in America." Ooh, that's what. And I should probably be quiet because again, our landlords and our fathers, you know what I'm saying, they are more set into what this portion of the Democratic Party seems to be doing is pushing more of a full reign energy. Oh my goodness, why does it look like that? Y'all. Oh, why do it look like three people stand? That's tripping me out. This is my TV back here. Oh, it's stuck. It looked like there's three people in my screen. Oh my goodness. Ooh, okay. All right, yeah, let's get out of here. That look like people in the screen, y'all. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's tripping me out. That is tripping me out. Yes. Yes. There are faces there. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm leaving. I'll see you guys later. Take care. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and join us in the Facebook group American Aborigines Unchained for more information, alternative information, past, present, and future. Again, not just from me, but from others. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.